It's a script that could have been written in Hollywood. The opening shot, a lunch in the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And it starts where you might expect, with a Hollywood heavy hitter, director and actor Rob Reiner.
Well, this was after Proposition 8 went the wrong way for us.
The lunch took place in November 2008, a week after the election. Obama won the White House, but gays and lesbians lost the right to marry in California.
We were trying to figure out what would do next. And then we thought about the idea of a possible legal challenge to Proposition 8. And serendipitously, a friend of my wife's came by the table.
The friend suggested they would find an ally in her former brother-in-law, who turned out to be Ted Olson, a towering figure in the conservative legal movement.
So that stunned you, right?
Yes, it more than stunned me. It stunned me, but I said, if this is true, this is the home run of all times. I mean, the idea that Ted Olson, this arch conservative, the Solicitor General for George Bush, who had argued Bush v. Gore and basically put me in bed for a couple of days, I was so depressed after Bush v. Gore, was interested in gay rights. I thought, let's check it out.
But didn't you have any doubts about Ted Olson?
You know, they say that politics makes strange bedfellows. Well, you don't have a stranger bedfellow than me and Ted Olson.
I was skeptical, absolutely.
Chad Griffin was also at the Polo Lounge that day. He and Rob Reiner are old friends and political allies. They met when Chad was just 19 and a press aide in the Clinton White House.
Good morning, Mr. President.
How are you today, Mrs. Chappell?
Fine, thank you, sir.
He gave Reiner the West Wing tour when the director was scouting for his film, An American President. They decided Griffin would be the one to make that first uneasy call to Olson.
And much to my surprise, it was an issue that he had clearly thought a lot about. But the moment I hung up the phone, I realized that there was a chance I was talking to someone who overnight could become the most important, significant advocate for marriage equality that this movement has ever seen.
We talked for a while on the telephone, and then he said, "Can I come and talk to you in your office in Washington, D.C.?"
Olson took the meeting, although they kept it a secret.
Here you are with Donald Rumsfeld.
After all, he's a conservative legal icon.
One of the first things you see when you walk through your door in this office is a picture of Ronald Reagan.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man to know and to work for.
What
and, of course, President Bush is here, too.
That would be Bush 43.
And will to the best of my ability.
The president whose election Olson successfully defended before the Supreme Court in 2000. A memory that wasn't lost on Chad Griffin.
I knew I was in foreign territory, but I saw enough in that office to know just how Republican, of a world that Ted Olson comes from. And my world could not be more different than that.
Also on display was Olson's extraordinary legal track record, with 44 Supreme Court victories under his belt.
And here are the quills. Now, you get one of these every time?
Every time you argue a case in the Supreme Court, at the desk is the quill.
Weeks later, Reiner says the deal was sealed here at his California home.
Was this kind of like an out-of-body experience for you? I mean, here you are sitting and talking to Ted Olson, whom you probably regarded as...
Yeah, the enemy.
The devil, they say, the devil.
Now, what are you?
Well, I'm a devil to a different group of people.
It really is a betrayal of everything that Ted Olson has purported to stand for.
Ed Whalen, a conservative legal analyst and former Olson fan, now, like many conservatives, feels betrayed.
He was viewed as someone who fought the good fight. I think most people assumed that he was a man of principle. So I thought it was a shocking act on his part.
And so do you think he's destroyed his reputation?
I think so.
This is a case that challenges the status of individuals.
So why did Olson do it?
People say that you must be doing this because someone in your family is gay. That is not the case. I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do.
And once Olson made the decision, it became an emotional journey.
A younger woman who works here is a lawyer. She came up to me and she said, Ted, I want to tell you what I think about what you're doing. She said, I'm a lesbian. I don't think you know me. We haven't worked together. My partner and I have children. I can't tell you what you're doing for us by taking this case. And she started to cry. And then I did.
Then Olson made another move right out of Central Casting. He wanted to hire a co-counsel. Of all people, the liberal David Boies, his former Supreme Court rival, the man he beat in Bush versus Gore. The director loved it.
And then when he suggested that we get David Boies to be his co-counsel, I thought, wow, to get the two guys who opposed each other on Bush v. Gore to team up was saying that this is a nonpartisan issue.
They share an abiding belief that...
Not to mention irresistible public relations.
I think Ted recognized that this odd bedfellows combination, so to speak, would get a lot of attention.
Some people call them the odd couple.
Well, it is a very odd couple, isn't it?
This is absolutely right.
Or is it? Judge for yourself.
As we were getting ready to argue Bush versus Gore,
Yes,
didn't
exactly.
we have this conversation?
In the chamber.
Someday,
right.
Someone's going to come to us
right.
who will want to get married, right. and they'll be gay. And we'll do this together. We actually talked about that.
That second part I don't remember so well.